Everyone, it's Polymer Clay TV and I'm Kira, and today I'm going to show you how to make these. What are these, you ask? They are wine stem charms. When Elisa and I were traveling last weekend, we saw these really cool wine stem charms in a gift shop, and we thought, wow, that's great, we can make these with polymer clay. If you've seen our show before, you've seen Elisa make hair twists kind of the same way, and you can adapt this project to make hair twists or wine charms. Let's go ahead and get started. For this project, you only need a few things. You need something to texture with, so I've got my Geo texture stacks and my metal texture stamp set, which I pulled a couple of them out that I wanted to use. Of course, you need clay, and this is a great project for doing scrap clay. I just mixed up some yellows, greens, and whites and got a couple of different colors here that I'll use for the project. And you'll want something to highlight the textures that you make. So I've got dewdrop inks and some mica powder. And you'll want something to form them on in the oven to keep them from collapsing. So I have my set of graduated aluminum rods, and you can pull out the one that is the right size for your project, and you can bake your clay right on these in the oven. And then for the charm part, I've got my graduated set of round cutters, which I'll just use one of them, and a pair of jewelry pliers and something to poke a hole with. Here's a tip. I buy packs of sock needles, and this is just a metal knitting needle for socks, so it has a point on both ends. So here's the deal. Condition your clay and roll it into 3 snakes. Next, we need to texture them. And of course, you can use any number of these that you want because it's your party. So if you need a lot, make a lot. If you are only having a few people over, make a few. So there's one. There's another. Ooh, I like that sort of dot in the middle. That comes from that raised center area. Okay, so when you look at these texture stacks, they are called texture stacks for a reason, because you don't have to just use them as a round stamp. And for this last one, I'm going to mess around and make it look like almost like tentacles, like an octopus tentacle. Just have fun with this. Now, if you've seen our show before, you know that Elisa has done something similar, and she made hair twists, which the kids love, and they go over great at farmers markets and craft fairs and stuff because it's something quick and easy. It looks really cute, and you can put it in your hair. So you can use this same technique to make a hair twist. So now you just need to wrap these. I'm going to wrap them before I color them. So I think that probably this gold rod is the right one for my wine glass. So I'm going to carefully, gently wrap this around. When you're using your clay, you want to coax it. Don't just grab it and force it, but coax it where you want it to go. Just, to prevent cracking. And once you have it wrapped around, you don't have to do anything special. You just leave it, and we're going to ink them and then bake it. And then this is Primo clay, so it's flexible after baking, and you'll be able to remove it from this rod and wrap it around your wine stem. If you get the feeling that your clay is a little stiff or cold, you can always sort of pre-bend it. Just use your finger and gently start bending it in the direction you want it to go before you grab your stick here and wrap it around. know that on the one end of one of these I want to do a charm. I just want to mess around with that idea. So I'm going to put a hole for a jump ring or a piece of wire or whatever it is that I'm going to use. And I'm going to just color these. So I've got my brilliance. This one is Cosmic Copper. It's a really nice deep copper color. And you can just gently press the ends down onto the rod to keep it there while you're coloring it. And just ink it up and your texture will show now. And you can use the colors of the ink as part of your, how to tell whose glass is whose. Give everybody a different color ink, or actually change the color of the clay, make a different charm, however you want to do it. And this ink is heat set, so it's going to stick on there once you bake these pieces and not come off. All right, and then this one we'll do some pigment powder. To highlight this round bubbly design that came from those texturing rods that we have, the metal stamp set. I like to use my finger with my powders. I find that it gives me nice control, especially when I'm doing just trying to hit the raised areas of the design like this. So I use my fingers. Sometimes, like if I'm silk screening with powder, I'll definitely use a brush. But for this project, my fingers are good. All right, so this other one, let's see. Put it on a different rod. I feel like I've got a lot going on over there. And these twists don't have to be super long either. I mean, we're just trying to do long enough to identify the wine stem, right? So this one is Pearlescent Rust. It's a little bit more of a brown orangey color. It's nice and bright though. It's like metallic orange. I like it. But you can do these seriously however you like. All right, and then we're just going to put them on a tile and pop them in the oven. And I'm going to leave them on the rod so that it kind of helps them keep their twisted shape. Before I put these in the oven, I'm going to make a charm for that one I made a hole in. So I'm just going to use a little piece of scrap clay that I rolled out to a number 2, and I'm going to stamp this design. And I'm going to use this guy to cut it out. Make a hole so I can dangle it and ink it up. And now let's bake. All right, our pieces are out of the oven, and you can see that they easily pop off these aluminum rods. And because I used Primo, they are flexible. So they can easily open up enough to wrap around that wine stem. And we have one of these that has holes in it so that we can turn it into a little dangling charm. So remember, when you open your jump rings, always to go from the sides. Don't ever open them wide. You want to open them sideways. So we'll just open it. You open it by cracking it to the side. And you can do this, I mean, you could put beads on it, you can do whatever you want. I'm just doing something up quick so that you can get the idea and go do this yourself. Spring is coming, you know, and summer's coming and sangria season is coming. So all you have to do here is just gently spiral this back around the glass. And there's your little marker. Make them in all different colors and different patterns, and it'll be easy for everyone to identify their glass. So I hope you had fun with this and that you will create along with us next week on more Polymer Clay TV. See you later.